but others exist because the darkness needs a doorway. A lighthouse stands between those two worlds, tall, silent, unmoving. A single beam carving through the mist like a blade. People say lighthouses save lives. I say they collect them. Every storm leaves something behind, a whisper, a breath, a name no one speaks anymore. In the lighthouse, patient, ancient, unblinking, absorbs it. Energy drifts to those towers the way a tide drifts back to the shore, not by accident, but by memory. Some spirits seek comfort, some seek answers, some seek the light they never reached in life. And the lighthouse welcomes all of them without judgment. Step inside one, and you will feel it immediately. The shift in the air, the hum beneath the silent. The sense that you are not the only one who climbed those steps just a few seconds ago. A lighthouse is not haunted because it's lonely. It is haunted because it never forgets. And one such lighthouse, standing against wind, wave, and time itself, is the reason I cross paths with someone extraordinary. Someone who has spent years walking with the unseen. Someone who joins us tonight. But before we bring her in, let's talk about one of our sponsors, Hudson Smokehouse. Even the bravest investigators need a place to recenter, to breathe, to remember they're alive. For me, that place is Hudson Smokehouse in Ironton, Minnesota, mere minutes from Brainerd. Their smoke isn't just flavor, it's presence. It clings to you the way a spirit does when it wants to be noticed. Ribs that fall apart like they're suffering. Pulled pork that tastes like time slowed down just for you. Warmth, comfort, and a little mystery. All under one roof. If you're ever near Brainerd, and if the lights dip when you're eating, don't worry. Some places just have personality. Now, let's step back into the dark. Good evening, my friends, and welcome. I am Gabriel Von Graves, and this is Darkwoods Paranormal. Tonight, we explore the strange pull of lighthouses, the way their beams draw not only ships, but the energies of what lingers beyond. Standing beside me, sharp, steady, and unwavering, even when the unknown pushes back, Miss Raven Knight. Welcome, Raven. How you doing tonight?
I am good. Thank you, Gabriel.
Fantastic. And now, from the shadows of Uper Paranormal, from the forest stones and the structures that refuse to sleep, we welcome a woman whose work has carried her through some of the most active locations in the North. From Uper Paranormal, I want to welcome my dear friend Trish. Trish, welcome to Darkwoods Paranormal. It's been too long, my
Thank
dear.
you. I am
Thank you
so
for
happy to
being
be
here.
here with you guys.
Absolutely. And one of my favorite places I've been was your lighthouse in Michigan. And I enjoyed spending time with you. I've always been a big fan of lighthouses, and it was just a beautiful place to be. So I want to thank you for that experience. What's it been?
Oh,
4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year? How
something
long has it
like
been?
that. Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic.
A
Well,
year.
Raven, it's good
Feels
to
like a
have you
year.
here. You look great. It's been a while. How long has it been? It's been like
Gosh, it
feels
was.
like maybe a month before we since we've done one of these.
Oh gosh, it's been a week, but it
Has
feels
it
like
really?
no,
Well,
maybe
you know.
almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Almost 2 weeks, I think. We had our event that we went to, Krumperschnott. I was gonna let you say it,
Crumperschnott.
Krumperschnott, which was really cool.
We
We'll
should have
have
had
this.
Trish there. She would have had fun with that.
Well, I want to know when was the last time y'all went on an investigation?
That's a good,
We just. I
the
think we
last
both went.
time we were on investigation, where was it? I think it was with you, Trish. I don't think
No,
Oh,
we've been to one
no, it
since.
wasn't with Trish.
Where was it? You guys were together when was the last time you guys were in a
yeah.
we were on invest yeah?
Yep.
No.
That was that after the lighthouse?
Yes.
Well, yes, but no.
Yeah.
Uh, Gabriel, we went to the psychiatric hospital
Yes,
in
you did.
Yes, we did.
Yep, you
With
did.
our good
on the way
friend.
to
Yes.
Eureka Springs.
Chumming with the spirits. We were able to hang with
That's right.
some of our
We
friends
went
there.
out. We
Yeah.
Okay.
OG,
Yeah,
our good friend OG from Chumming with Spirits
absolutely.
at the Galore. I think, God, I almost feel like there's one after that, but that might have been our last one.
Shakers Cigar Bar in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, and that'd be in
Actually,
I've
one
Milwaukee.
of
heard of that. I've
oh,
I
never
would,
Trish,
been, but I've heard of
next
it.
time you must come with us. It is
yeah.
really,
Okay.
Bob is great, the owner. The staff is wonderful. The food, I
I
mean,
was gonna
come
say the
on,
reason
right?
why I
Okay.
forgot about the investigation is because the food literally
Yes,
outshone everything.
it was.
It was
It
some of
was.
the best food I've ever
I
had
would
in my
definitely
life.
love that. I'm a foodie too, so
Oh,
I
this
didn't
place
last there.
does
yeah.
not disappoint. Shaker's Cigar Bar in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. After a good, nice old fashioned, we know that's what I like, Trish, right? We were able to enjoy a nice cigar, and then they have two beautiful upper stories apartments, studio apartments, or not studio apartments, like full apartments. And you can walk around, and there's
Old
the
houses.
history, the building has such rich history. They have ghost tours. In fact, our tour guide, who will be on
Sunday.
Sunday.
This Sunday.
So
Okay.
yeah, please watch this. If you want to join, we'll prepare you in. She's phenomenal to listen to. She talked a lot about Jeffrey Dahmer. I love
Oh
it.
wow,
Yeah,
that's
just
interesting to me.
just a
Yeah.
gorgeous little vampire of a woman,
Jeez.
And no, she is
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey
Jeffrey,
Dahmer. There you go.
you have
There
Jeffrey
you go.
Dahmer
Listen,
right
my
there.
daughter has everything in her horror office.
Well, we have somebody
If
that's
you have a
very
picture of
skilled
Jeffrey
in Jeffrey
Dahmer.
Dahmer. Yes, we'll definitely have to have her on next Sunday if you're available, because this lady's very interesting to talk to. She's phenomenal. Bob, the owner of Shaker's
I love that.
Cigar Bar, is great. I mean, Bob loves Raven. When I'm not, I'm not even there.
What's not to
It's
love?
him and Raven, right? And if you're there, Trish, I would be
Yeah.
absolutely invisible. He'd be all over you guys when it comes to charming you guys with food, drinks.
Yeah,
He has a presence about him that
he does.
that just makes you feel welcomed, and that does
Okay.
honestly cross to
Yeah,
his
I would
staff.
be happy to.
Oh gosh, you
It'd be
guys,
great.
yeah. I might as well just stay somewhere else because you guys might have a blast. But
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
were
I'm gonna
in
stay home.
yeah, you guys were on an investigation together. Tell me a little bit about that. I
Well,
wasn't there.
hold
I was
on.
actually in Tennessee. Yeah.
Before we move on, I wanted to say there was something I literally read the other day
Yeah.
about what your last meal was. Like if you were on death row, right?
Oh.
So what your last meal would be on death row. And I literally in my head thought that crab meat pot pie
Oh, that was
um
Trish.
might
You
actually
got to come to Milwaukee with us.
make
It's
the
the
list.
food. It's
It
just
would make it. Like it
I
was
I gained 10
amazing.
pounds. I just did. It was just
I would gain
wonderful.
10 pounds
It
every day.
sounds really good.
It does.
So
It does.
good.
It's really good. Well,
But
what was Trish? What would your last meal be if you were on death row?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. Okay, probably
Nothing like putting you on the spot.
lobster,
Okay,
crab,
just live it up,
um,
right?
yeah, scallops. I'd go the whole shebang, all seafood.
Absolutely,
oh, I love
absolutely.
seafood.
Raven, how about you?
I loved that. I love the pot pie. I was like, I wonder if I should do that. But also, I have this like nostalgic thing that my grandma used to make, which was this beef stroganoff that my mom then made. So it was my grandma's
A nice
recipe, then
comfort,
my mom.
sure.
Yeah, it was like a comfort. So that would have to be on there, and of course, like popcorn. So I think there would
Okay,
be.
so I'm sorry. I gotta. Okay, so a part of your last meal on Earth, before
Yes.
you meet God to be judged,
Yeah,
you're gonna throw in popcorn in the
I
meal.
am with the Parmesan cheese, which we know Paracham
That
from
is
Swimming with
so
Stars.
good.
Oh,
He's
what?
It's
judging.
good.
Oh gosh.
So good.
No,
Oh,
popcorn
you
with
ladies, I don't know.
Parmesan cheese is the best.
That's my
It
favorite.
smells like vomit. You unscrew it, you smell it.
No, my granddaughter, my youngest granddaughter, she started me on that. And I was like, oh
Really?
my gosh, this is so good.
It's so good. It's so good. It's like one of my
Oh,
favorite things
you
in the whole
guys
world. It's a
are
comfort
Yeah.
food.
way off. That's all
So
right. I still love you both. You guys are crazy. It's all good.
what
No,
about you?
now the other night now, I made popcorn and I had, of course, went and got the Grinch meal with the dill pickle salt. And I
Very
saved
popular
some to
now.
put
Very
in my
popular.
popcorn, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, so
Dill
good.
pickle popcorn. Trish, I don't know about you, Nora.
It was
I don't know.
good.
Oh, Lord. Well, you guys were on an
Wait, no,
investigation.
wait.
And
You have to answer
what?
the question too,
Oh,
Gabriel. You can't.
shrimp scampi, old fashioned, and a cigar. I love the shrimp. A smoked old fashioned, since I'm about to be smoked anyways. Might as well just bring it in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, well, I figure, listen, they might as well light me up. You know, the whole,
Yeah, I want to
right?
change my mind, and I think I'll have a tequila drink of some sort.
I'm
Yes,
fine with having an old fashioned as
yes.
well. I mean,
I'm not a man that partakes in the highness, but I'm about to die. Give me some pills, rock me up. I'm saying, I'm going out. So
Yeah.
a smoked old
Yep.
fashioned, maybe some weed. I don't know. It's, it's my last day. You know, I don't know. I don't smoke weed, so it's one of those
he
things I
doesn't.
do.
That's why that's
Yeah,
funny.
right. It is. But I figure, I'm dying. It's not gonna hurt
Yeah,
me.
might as well
Maybe a
do what you want to
cigarette,
do.
because what's gonna
Yeah,
happen to me? You know?
that's
That's
true.
true.
Right. Some chocolate cake, because I'm not gonna run tomorrow. It's
Yep,
fine.
it's
Oh,
true.
Yeah.
yeah. Wait, we have to have dessert. I'm going with my tiramisu for the
Oh,
dessert. That's what I'm doing.
right.
Chocolate cake.
Thank you, Trish. We'll share this cell together, Trish. It's fine. Plenty of
No,
chocolate
I
cake.
love chocolate cake. My two favorite cakes are wedding cake and chocolate cake. I do not like tiramisu. I don't know why. I just never.
It doesn't
Oh,
sound real to me, tiramisu. I'm just letting
it's
you
so
know.
good.
Okay.
In the
Well,
comments, it says he loves candy.
Candy's good too.
who said that? Who said I like candy?
Sam says that you love candy.
Okay. Well, it's true. Okay. So you guys were in a visit.
He
First of
keeps
all, let
bringing
me
it.
back
Yeah.
up for a second. Trish, you're in a special place right now. Where are you?
I'm in my daughter's home,
Okay. And what's
and
special about that?
it's haunted, and
Yeah, it
she's
is.
known it since she's moved in. She's lived here, I think, like 9 years or so, 9 or 10 years. We don't really know who it's haunted by, but we have had many experiences here. And my husband did, in fact, die here 6 years ago as well.
Sorry.
I don't know whether he's here or not, but as you heard, I decided to set out some equipment because I've been hearing noises, and then someone knocked on the door. The music boxes, it was going off like crazy, but now they must be getting tired of it. So once in a while, you'll hear it a little bit and it'll stop.
Can you tell us a little history about the house? What kind of experiences you guys
Really,
had there?
we don't know much about it, but interestingly, there was a woman who lived here. She had cancer. She died from the cancer, but not in this house. But her son went to college to become an oncologist because of his mom dying of cancer, and he turned out to be my husband's oncologist when my husband got cancer. He was
Wow.
so surprised. He recognized the address, and he said, I used to live in that house. His aunt was pregnant when she lived here, and she lost the baby. So we're assuming my sons have heard a baby crying in this house. My daughter's friends were here, and they heard a baby crying in the house. So I did a scrying session, and I saw a woman. She had a blanket, and I don't know if there was a baby in it or not, but she was holding it like this, and she was going, my baby, my baby.
Wow.
And someone who was with us, who was part of the scrying session, said they heard a baby crying. We don't know if that's what where it's from. But I'll tell you what, I'm in the woods at the end of a dirt road.
Okay.
There's one house, and it's over there, way over there. So yeah, in the woods.
That's
Well,
crazy.
if I may ask, when you guys went to that house when I was in Tennessee, tell me about that.
Okay, so I think that I should start this story with the fact that I woke up literally that morning and I messaged Trish and I said, "Hey, there was an opportunity to go and investigate this house in Menominee, Michigan, which is about 5 hours away from me." Literally the morning of. Okay,
Okay.
I
Right.
messaged Trish and I said, "I think I'm gonna go do this." And I know that Trish wasn't super far from where that was, so I thought, hey, Trish and I had met like twice. We met her at that convention. I want to say it was in Appleton. We might have met you in
Yep.
Appleton.
Oh, yep.
We
Yep.
met Trish in Appleton, and then we went to Marquette and did the investigation at the lighthouse with her.
Beautiful lighthouse, by
Probably
the way.
a week or two, maybe even a week before this happened, or the weekend before this happened. And so I'd only met Trish like twice, and and I said, "Hey, I know you're in that neck of the woods. Would you want to do this?" And she said yes, and I said, "Okay, let's do it." And so I literally rented a car, spur of the moment. Told
So
our good
caution to
friends,
the wind, ladies, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
why not?
told
Why
our good
not?
friends coming with the spirits who were like, "What are you doing? You're crazy." And they said they were really worried that I was going to get murdered in a basement. It was
Right.
fine.
And you're like,
And then
I have Trish. It's cool. Don't worry about
it's fine. I know Trish.
Yeah.
I mean,
If she can outrun me, well,
it.
So literally drove 5 hours. We went to this house that was owned by a couple. They had lived there for a long time. I don't remember how many years they were on a show called like My Haunted House or My Haunted Home or something like that. So it was like one of those actual, TV shows like their house was featured on. We went with Barnaby Jones. Barnaby Jones actually led part of the investigation, and it was very interesting, I think.
it was.
Trish, yeah. I'll let you kind of take some
It
things
was a
from there. It
beautiful home, though.
was beautiful.
It was so beautiful, and you felt like it was almost alive when you were in it. And I think all the rooms had their own kind of feel. Didn't you think that?
Yes. The red room, which was not red.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those places where, and Gabriel kind of knows this too, like where you walk into a spot and you're like, ooh, there's something
Yeah.
in this. Like you could
Yeah.
just feel it. Even if you're doing the investigation, you're getting nothing. But you're like, ooh, there's something here. Like you just,
Yeah.
there were certain spots of that home where you definitely got that. That was also the night that, so Gabriel was out in Tennessee doing his own investigations and stuff. And for some, I think you said I was doing maybe like an EVP session, or not an
Right,
EVP, like
right.
a REM pod session possibly. And you, of course, were like, what the hell are you doing, Raven? Why would you do this as well?
Right.
And, but you said, ask about Jeffrey. I think the name
Yes.
was Jeffrey that you
Yes.
threw out there.
So the place I
And
was at was, there was, I wasn't alone in that place, definitely. And I was kind of texting you back and forth because you said you were on the investigation with Trish, and of course I said, hey, tell Trish I said hi. And then I'm sure she didn't, Trish. It's just the way she
I
rocks.
did.
Did
She
you?
did.
Did she? Oh, you
She
covered
did.
for her, Trish. Look at you. And then we were, I was jealous, of course, because you're in a cool place. Place I was as cool, but it's not about me. So I'm like, you
Yeah,
know what?
but were you not in Arizona?
No, I was in Tennessee.
Okay, see, I would have rather been there. I would love to go. I love Tennessee, first of all. But I mean, that house was cool and I had a great time. But I thought you were in Arizona for some reason, and that would be amazing. That I swear the whole state is haunted.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I'm just going to
wait,
hear from people. So
why don't
anyway,
you
back to
let
the
her
house.
know where we'll be in July? Maybe she wants to come with.
Oh, you mean in New Orleans?
Yes. Would you like to go to
Oh
New
my
Orleans?
God, I would love to go there.
Done. Done.
Go to some voodoo shops,
That's the
Trish?
most haunted state.
It is. I think we would have a lot of fun there, actually.
There's lots of
Oh
cigars
my
there.
gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Going on Bourbon Street, cigars everywhere.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And we might have the chance
I don't
to,
know if I would leave.
no. Raven
No,
said the
I've
same
always
thing.
wanted
She
to
said,
go
listen,
there.
I'm just going to stay.
Yeah, I watch shows about it and I'm like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
have to go there.
So we debated, actually, would we fly there or drive there? And I said,
I was
we'll
just going to
drive.
ask.
We'll drive because all the places you can go through,
Yeah.
Missouri
Yep.
and
I love
Mississippi.
the freedom of driving.
I'd like to stop and see the big guy's house, Elvis. Just to stop in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grace.
Yeah.
Might as well. It's not that far away. Just swing on
I
by.
am going with you guys.
Yeah. So we'll go to Graceland, and just kind of
Oh my
see.
God.
That's supposed to be haunted too. Maybe we can get
Of
Yeah.
course it.
a media
Even though
pass through somebody and try to figure out if we can actually, spend more time in there more intimately. See if we can't, see if there's Elvis's
Yeah.
ghost there, or at least see
Elvis isn't dead.
if what? He's
Elvis
Bob
isn't
Joyce.
dead.
He's not dead. He's Bob Joyce.
Joyce inventing.
We could probably stop and see Bob Joyce and say, "Hey, we were just at your house. It's great, man." You know who Bob Joyce is, right, Trish? No,
No, but
Oh
I'm
God.
assuming he's not dead.
no, no. Bob Joyce is actually Elvis. It's a great big thing. I don't know. It's all
Oh,
nutty.
okay.
The math doesn't work, but it doesn't matter.
It
We just
works.
throw reality out. It's great.
Gabriel convinced me. I believe it 100%.
Yeah. And Twitter convinced me, so I don't know if that helps. But anyways, so I hear you had some fun at that house, Trish. What happened?
Yeah, like I said, we walked around to every room, and every room had its own kind of feeling. Nothing felt really bad, but down in the basement now, um, we picked up on a smell, but it could have just been something in the basement, but it smelled like wet or something. Just
I forgot about that.
they were talking about there was a slaves quarters or something down there. Is that what they said? And you could just smell this smell, but you also felt, to me, it felt sad.
Yeah, it did.
And then the room that, well, you were sitting in that bathroom doing I think an EVP session or something. Oh, you were in there for a long time and you were getting responses.
That's when Gabriel was messaging me to ask about
Mhm.
Jeffrey.
Yep.
And
Okay.
as soon as he asked about Jeffrey, this Jeffrey character that I had no idea what he was talking about, he said,
Yeah.
just ask about Jeffrey. I'm like, okay. So I was asking about Jeffrey, and the REM pod just started lighting up like
Yeah.
crazy, and we're getting so many responses just from this. And he was like 1,000 miles away from me, which was
So
wild.
to add that, Trish,
Right.
I was sitting in a house in Tennessee that was a little bit on the darker side, if you will. And as Raven's texting me, and I'm like, all of a sudden I hear Jeffrey. Someone goes, ask about Jeffrey, and I'm like, what is this? So I'm like, ask about Jeffrey, and then that's when Raven goes, you'll never guess. Things just
It was
started
like
going on. Right.
It was crazy. It was
Yep.
crazy. But
That's just
I
like, what's that?
sorry. No, the smell thing, Trish. I thought you were talking about I believe there was a point in the basement where and I didn't say anything about it until later after you said something. I thought there was the smell of like an old man. You're in the
That's
middle of the
what I
basement.
mean. Yeah, it was like this
Yeah.
when you were, if you're standing behind a little old man in the grocery store, he has a particular sweat smell, and
There
that's
was
what
no
we were
man
smelling.
smell. And she had said something about it, and I was like, okay, because I'm not the type of person that goes into a place that's like, and I think, oh, everything means this. Like, oh, this is going off. That means it's haunted. Oh, I'm smelling something. In my head, I just justified. I'm like, I'm just making this up. I'm not really smelling it. But then she had said something, and I went, oh, I actually smelled that too. That's wild.
Yeah.
So old
And
man
then
smell.
when we were up in a room upstairs, the name, I believe it was Mary, that kept coming in my head. And so I asked the owner if there was someone with that name, and he at the time had said no. But then they started contacting a Mary through the spirit box in the room that was adjacent to where we were. So I went in there and asked, and there in fact was, the owner's daughter's name was Mary something. She didn't go by Mary, she went by Marianne or something, and I was like, well, that's kind of what I asked. And I felt like they were trying to tell me something about, or was it Anna? No, I think it was Anna,
I don't remember.
not Mary. I believe it was Anna. And they were actually communicating with an Anna who haunted the place, but she had the same name as the owner's daughter, Anna.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was picking up on an Annie. I kept seeing the name Annie over and over in my head. I'm like, I have to ask about it because it keeps doing it, and that's when someone's trying to like tell you, ask, find out.
we had talked to a medium, Brooke Ashley. So we have an episode out with her a couple episodes ago, and she was talking about mediumship and how to kind of recognize things about mediumship, right? And so she's actually like was telling us that when you get those like those messages, like those repeating messages, those actually mean something. Most of the time,
Mm.
it means something, and we would dismiss it like, "Hey, this is not, we're just making this up," or like, "Why does
Right.
this coming?" But like that's actually like a part of mediumship. So I thought that was very interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I wasn't even going to say anything, but I thought, you know what? There's a reason that this name keeps saying over and over in my head. I have to ask someone. And so that was like, okay, it's either the one they're talking to on the spirit box, or someone wants to either get a message to the owner's daughter or something, but it was interesting. So I
Yeah.
liked that.
What else happened at that house?
Well, so kind of at the end of the night, I decided to go upstairs by myself to get my equipment. And I didn't really think anything of it. It didn't bother me. It was dark up there, no lights were on. And so I went in the room and I picked up my recorder and I think I had my REM pod or something. And um, as I was leaving the room, I told them, thank you for allowing me to be there. And I was passing the room that was right after that, and I heard these feet running at me from this room and behind me. I looked behind me because I thought it was this kid that was from downstairs. There was nobody there. So I'm panicking. I'm just thinking, I don't know what to think, really. I'm getting heart palpitations. I'm like, okay, do I go straight? Do I go this way? So I ended up going straight because I could see the light where the stairs was. And I went downstairs and I asked if any of them were upstairs, and they were all downstairs. So it was nobody from downstairs. And it wasn't like I was afraid. It was just like when you hear footsteps running at you, you don't know if it's a dead person or a live person. What if this live person was trying to scare me or push me or something? So
Which is
you never
crazy.
know.
That's
It
true.
was by the stairs that we found out later. There was a spirit that likes to, um, how do we want to say, bother people on that staircase.
Yeah.
I think the guy who was the one of the owners of the house got pushed down that staircase before, as far as I
Yeah,
remember.
that's right. That's right.
Previous, one of the spirits that they say haunt that location. Actually, they found her hanging
Yeah,
at the stairs or
that's
something
right. I
like that.
remember that now.
So yeah, and so you were like headed toward that staircase. And
And
then we
why
found out
not, right,
as
Trish?
soon as you went
Yeah.
down that
Yep.
that. So it rushed at you by the staircase that all of these other instances had happened. So there's that. I of course was like, "Ugh, Trish, you get all the experiences."
It a lot of things that they do happen to me, and but I think it's because I do communicate with them so much. Like when I go to the lighthouse,
Yep.
I'll go in an hour before the tour and I'll talk to them and I will tell them, it's going to be okay. People are just going to come walk through, and we're going to see if you'll communicate with us and have things go off, and if you guys want to talk or whatever. So I like them to be comfortable, I guess, with it.
Yeah.
I can definitely attest to that because when we were at the lighthouse, and once again, thank you for that. Um, we, other than walking around, and we had some feelings, nothing that was actually really terribly caught, except when me and you, Trish, were sitting in, I'd say that the dining room or whatever it
Yeah.
was, we were sitting there talking, and Raven's or bag was right next to me, and something either jumped out or jumped in, something like, you remember that?
It
Still
was
with
crazy.
It was
We're
creepy.
sitting there just talking,
Yeah. Yep.
and we see this dark thing. It either popped up or popped
Yep.
in. And
Yep.
he says, "Did you see that?" And I said, "Yeah, I did see that. Welcome to the lighthouse."
Right. And you were so calm. I was like, "Did you see that?" And you're like, "Yeah." And the way
feeling
you
Oh,
stuff.
talk to the spirits when you're there, it was like you're talking to them like you would family. Very
yeah.
respectful. Um, very matter of fact, like they were there with you, like it was just a common occurrence. And I
Yeah.
didn't see too many people actually address a spirit like that, and I think it was wonderful.
Yeah, because I think that's their home. I'm coming into their home and, asking them questions, bringing strangers in through their home. And I would imagine that if they were living, they wouldn't want that. I mean, you wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want strangers coming,
Absolutely.
walking through your house, asking questions and, putting out REM pods. But,
Walking around in the dark with cameras.
right,
Right.
exactly. And so even there'll be times where I will try to joke around with them and just tell them, that was funny, wasn't it? Like if something happened, um, then I would tell them, did you get a kick out of that? Did you think that was funny? Just so that, they're kind of, I guess, comfortable with me. And yeah,
The only thing that I think, other than that weird thing with Raven's bag, and it was like a black shadow that either jumped
it
in
was,
or jumped
and
out.
it thumped. It went
It
thump.
did. It
It was
did,
like,
and it
what the
moved the
heck?
whole inside of the bag, just like the bag opened. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. Was when we were down in the motor museum, or that right where
The
they have all
winch
those.
room. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that laundry room, and I
Mm.
remember the one that right outside that laundry room, there were child's footprints caught.
Yeah.
You know? And I remember staring at the door, and I'm not one to antagonize spirits. I think it's super disrespectful. Just something that
Right.
Dark Woods Paranormal, our Uber Paranormal, that we just don't do it. Right? It's just not
Right.
something we do. Um,
No.
I've met a lot of people that do it, and I always disagree with that because why anger somebody? That makes no sense to me. But when
Right.
I was sitting down there, I had the unbelievable sensation of barging through that door. Right? Something's like, it was like it was kind of like challenge me, like
Yeah.
do it.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I look at Raven. I'm like, this isn't me, but for some reason I just feel like opening it up. And she goes, yeah, that's not you at all. Babes, and I said it's a very weird feeling. So what is it about that
Well,
part of the lighthouse?
our theory is that, well, okay, so Susan had someone, a medium, read the lighthouse before, and she said that he's the spirit of a prisoner who was from the Kinross prison, which is, I don't know how many miles away from the lighthouse, something like maybe 60 miles, I don't know. But anyway, um, and that he's very mean. But what I know of him is I've gone in um, there to do EVP sessions, and there's a crawl space. It's pretty big, and there's a lot of quartz. It's literally all quartz. And then there's another room that's all cement and quartz. And so I would stand outside there and do EVP sessions, and he would tell me to leave. And he has a very deep, gruff voice. Like, it's scary, but it's not. I mean, like, I think he's just, because he's a guy and he does not want some woman bothering him. So he would tell me leave, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going. But we started getting responses through the spirit box, like nasty names and things like that. And he would call people names. And so we kind of decided to leave him alone. We weren't going to go into the library room anymore. And then someone who used to be on my team, who is no longer on my team, went in and invited him out. And that very day during the tour, I got so sick. I wanted to throw up. I had the worst headache. And so did one of the other guests. And so we went outside and kind of grounded ourselves. And then I got in touch with a friend of mine. He is a priest, and um, he came and he cleared me and Susan and put him back in the laundry room, and basically that's where he stays. We don't bother him, and yeah, he's not a nice spirit.
Hey Trish, is the REM pod going on behind you?
No, actually, the music box just stopped a
Oh,
little bit ago.
is that what I was seeing?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing
yeah,
blinking lights. I'm like, hey, I know it's Christmas. I love it.
yeah. No, the REM pod has not gone off. So I'm gonna assume that they didn't like it the first time they hit it because it was super loud. I do
Oh,
believe
sure.
that spirits don't like it because it's so annoying.
Hmm.
They'll try it at first and they're like, yeah, I'm not touching that again. But the music box, as you heard, it was going off forever, and then it would stop, and then it would go off, and it would stop, and well, now they're done with it. Thank God.
So, what other stories can you tell us about the lighthouse, other than it being a beautiful location and the museum really does a good job of preserving it? You know.
Oh,
Oh
for
yeah.
sure, for sure. Oh my gosh. Well, like I said, we've had many experiences, but the most memorable ones. I'll start with the one with Susan and I. We were going to spend the night there, or at least try to stay really late. And so we had chairs in the room where, like, when you walk through the dining room, there's that middle room,
Yep.
and we sat there with chairs, and we were just talking. We were asking them, "Hey, did y'all have pizza when you were alive? Do you have kudigi?" I don't know if y'all know what kudigi is here.
No,
Kudigi
no
is
idea.
Italian sausage sandwiches,
You told us to
sandwiches,
eat some of that. I remember
sandwiches.
you said before we leave, we gotta have some, and I was like,
Yes.
Raven, it doesn't sound good. I'm not gonna do it.
No, it's so good. Italian sausage, pizza
Okay.
sauce, cheese, and mushrooms. I mean, you don't have
Okay.
to have the mushrooms, but
Next time
anyway,
we're there,
so
make us eat it. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Um, so she's doing a live, and we hear something just kind of scoot across the floor. And we just looked at each other, and she's like, "Did you hear that?" And I said, "Well, I think it was me." She goes, "No, it wasn't you." And I said, "You're right, because I've been hearing it off and on." And then all of a sudden, we heard footsteps going down the hallway and up the metal stairs to the tower. So Susan starts just freaking out. She even said the F word on live. So, and that's not like her, but she was scared. But yeah. Um, so I said, well, we have to go check that out. We got to go see what it was, and if we can get them to I guess let us know that they're still there. And she's like, no, 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 we don't. Um, but I said, well, I have to go get my stuff anyway, and so we got up and we started going down the hallway, and something rushed us from the room that has like the TV and all that in it.
Yep.
And we heard footsteps just tuk, 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 come right after us. And she's grabbing me, like gripping me. And
Right.
I'm like, we're fine. We're fine. Let's just go in this room. So we step into, she kind of literally pushed me into the room. And we hear something pacing outside the room. It's like these footsteps pacing. I'm like, yeah, they don't want us here. I don't know who it is, but they definitely don't want us here. So I grabbed my stuff and we went out into the living room area, and it was just the feeling after that happened that they don't want us here. And she wanted to just leave my stuff. I said, no, I need to get my stuff. I don't want to leave it overnight. So we packed up everything. And before that, we had so much stuff happen. Like, I was down in the winter room, something pushed a car across the floor really loudly. And it was crazy active. And she hadn't really done a whole lot of investigating before. So this really, it freaked her out because she's never done it really.
Hmm.
So we're leaving, going out the door. And all of a sudden we hear this just crazy, crazy maniacal laugh come from the basement. I don't think I've seen Susan run that fast before. I
And
was right
Susan was
behind her, but
awesome, by the way. She was funny.
oh
She
God,
can't
yeah,
she can't do any overnights because of her dogs. I love that, by the way. That's the best excuse she has. And she kept on telling us. So
there's somebody here. I just heard it. It would sound like a footstep. I have goosebumps, just so you know.
Ooh,
well, do you
Trish.
want to turn the camera a little bit so we can see the music box?
Is it going off?
It's not
It's
going
not
off.
going off right now.
Okay.
Whoever just stepped in here, do you want to play that music box again so these folks can hear it? Can you turn on the music box again? What about the REM pod? Well, you can feel free to do it if you want. I won't yell at you this time. Guess not.
Just doesn't want to be on live. I get it,
It's camera
100%.
shy. It
Yeah,
makes sense.
It makes
Most of
sense.
the time we find that, isn't it? Like what will happen is we'll be recording something and nothing, and then you're not
Yep.
recording, and that's when you get all your stuff.
Well,
Oh yeah,
well,
that's what happened at the lighthouse that night. I didn't have my recorder running when we left, and if I would have captured that laugh, oh my gosh, people would have just been freaked out to go in there.
well, at the Sally House, majority of stuff that we caught, if you remember, Raven, was just when uh, we were with the boys, just talking. Just literally
Yeah.
having a conversation, and then all of a sudden everything just started lighting up. And I think that's what it is. At least it, when we've done things, when it comes to the paranormal, when we weren't really trying to provoke any kind of reaction, is when we got the most reactions. Just like with Trish, when you and I were just sitting there,
Yeah,
having a conversation, getting to know each other, and all of a sudden something pops either in and out of Raven's bag.
yeah,
And I think that's when you get the most stuff, because you're more open to it, because
yeah.
you're having an honest conversation, and you're not trying to antagonize or do anything. It just
Right.
happens naturally.
No, but when I do a lot of my EVP sessions, I like to do it when we're all just sitting around talking,
Right.
because I feel like they try to get in on the conversation a lot, and
Oh,
so that's
absolutely.
where I get my best stuff.
Yep.
And I've been at the Sally House a couple of times, and it was super quiet when I was there, but Heidi, who was also on my team, she was affected by something there, and her arm got very, very hot. And we used the thermal camera thing on it, and it showed up like dark, dark red. And so I said, "Hey, put holy water on it. I want to see what happens." It turned it purple, which meant it was hotter than what it was before. So yeah.
That's crazy.
So for people that don't know what Uber Paranormal is, what kind of stuff do you do? What places have you been?
Oh my gosh. We'd be here all night if I told you every place, but I'll name a few. I've done the Sally House, the Velisca Axe Murder House,
So what
the
did you
Garden
think of
House
the Sally
Hotel.
House? By the way, when you were there, did you get any activity?
Not really, not a whole lot. We had, like I said, Heidi had an experience. We had like stuff go off.
Right.
What is that? I don't know. Can you hear that?
No. What are you hearing, Trish?
Something
What are we
going.
hearing?
I don't know what that is. It stopped. Okay. Anyway, um, but and then um, Monica and I were upstairs at the Sally House, and she was communicating with a guy. It was sound like a gentleman, and well, I won't say a gentleman because he was mean, but he was. It was a male, and we went downstairs and we were doing EVP sessions at the table, and she captured a male voice that said, "I found you."
Oh, wow.
Wow,
So
is
yeah,
right. That's crazy.
I don't know what that noise was. That I'm like freaked.
I wonder if we can.
Oh, I know what it is. Never mind. I know. It's the puppy.
Oh, I was going to ask you about the puppy. How the puppy's
Yeah,
doing up there? Yeah.
yeah. Because at first it was like it sounded like something strange, but it's like, oh no, it's the puppy because it sounds like a crying puppy.
A crying puppy.
Yeah,
What? What? What's going on?
debunked.
Well, debunking is always good, right? I mean,
Oh, it is.
I
Yep.
I know the places we've been. We've investigated with another paranormal group that every little noise they thought it was something, and when we were looking at each other, we're like, somebody just farted, buddy. That's all that was. I mean, yeah.
Well, that's what I was sitting here as I'm talking to you guys. I'm going in my head. I'm like, okay, could it be this? Could it be that? And I'm like, the puppy.
And
He's a
I think
little
that's the
tiny
way we
basset
have
hound
to do it.
puppy.
Oh, pass it on. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that's the sound he makes.
I think as investigators, part of our job is to debunking things, right?
Oh, for
Because
sure. And
if
you have
everything's
to.
paranormal, nothing is. You
Yeah,
know?
no, you have to debunk it. That's the first thing that I tell people, try to debunk it first. Like try to see if
Mhm.
it's, like a pipe, or is it, this or that. And if you can rule out all of those things, then I don't always tell them it's 100% paranormal, but I tell them then it could be paranormal.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like,
Gabriel had asked you a question about all the places that you've been. You said if I listed all of the places, we would be here all night. But how about we take it a different direction and say, what is I'm gonna take a page out of Gabriel. What is the scariest place or the scariest experience that you've ever had besides the being rushed to the top of a staircase in a random house
right. No,
With
the
perfect
Monroe House.
strangers, you know.
with random strangers?
Yeah.
Have you guys have never been to the Monroe House in Indiana,
No,
correct?
but I think we might have to go, Huntrish.
Oh yeah. No,
Okay.
that place is wicked. We had a woman, like it's called the safe room, but technically it's not really a safe room. I mean, you're not any safer there than you are anywhere else in the house. But
Right. Right.
the history of this house, it's not super known, but supposedly a man started a fire there many years ago that killed his daughter, and they say that she's the female voice we hear singing coming down the stairs. Um, oh my gosh, just like so much weird stuff happens in that house. So we all were doing a SD session on the stairs, and everyone who did it felt something touch them on the back. And one of the girls actually screamed and came running out. She said something literally like put its finger down her back. And so you just get a really uneasy feeling in this house. They have a beautiful theater room there, though. It's got a big giant screen. You're just like you're at the theater. It's got theater seats. So I sit up in there. When I got home, I was listening to my recorder from that room, and I heard my own voice, and I wasn't even in that room. I was in another part of the house. No one was in that room. It was my voice. And so it mimicked me, whatever it was.
Oh,
Cool.
sure.
And it said, "What?" Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, that's my voice, but I'm not in that room. But now the scariest thing that ever happened from that house, which it made me not want to go back, but I ended up going back anyway. Um, yeah,
We've been there, Trish.
I'm hearing
Yeah.
footsteps.
We do.
Um, I came home from there, and my grandson and my daughter lived with me at the time, and I pulled up in the driveway, and I went to go in the house, and my grandson was screaming, and I thought he was crying because he was happy to see me, but he was like, Grandma, there's someone in your room. And I said, what do you mean there's someone in my room? And he said, there's a little boy in your room, and he doesn't have a face, and he keeps saying that this is his house. It's like, whoa, that's just weird. That nothing like that has ever happened. So I went and got my stuff, of course, brought it in, and I talked to my grandson. I said, my house is 133 years old. We know it's haunted, but nothing like that ever happened. So anyway, I told him, I said, you tell that little boy this is grandma's house and he's not welcome here. So he marched in there and he told him, this is my grandma's house. You're not welcome here. And he comes out and he said that this is his house and he's not leaving. So I went in there and I chatted with him and told him, I said, you're not welcome in my home. Go back to where you came from. So my grandson went upstairs, started screaming because he said he was upstairs. So I contacted a friend of mine. She's a medium, psychic medium from Wisconsin, and she did a remote cleansing and got rid of him. I read later on, Richard Estep, he wrote a book about the Monroe House, and he wrote about a little boy that people have brought home from there.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and he's not a
Really?
nice little boy. Yeah,
Wow.
Is it something disguised as a little boy? Do you think?
I think so. Yes, yes. They, I'm sure you're aware of who Nick Groff is and Katrina Weidman, and
Yeah.
they stayed there, and they claim there's a demon there. They claim there's demonic activity there. I wouldn't go as far as to say demonic, but things have happened. People have been scratched. People have gotten sick. I actually captured a growl while I was sleeping because I leave a recorder running, and I captured a very creepy growl. So
Well,
Wow.
I think that all hauntings, if you will, has the potential for that doorway to open to
yeah,
places we just don't want to discover. As we've
absolutely.
seen at the Sally House. I mean, there was nothing going on. We were absolutely at peace, and then all of a sudden things switched quickly.
Yeah.
And we
And
were
that's
no
kind of
longer
what
at
happened
peace.
to us there. Things were really quiet. And then at midnight, something felt
Yep.
off. And I couldn't even go up the stairs by myself. When I had slept up there earlier in the day by myself, was fine going up there. And then it was just the energy shifted and it
Yep.
didn't feel good.
So, do
It was
you,
a
Trish,
completely
believe
different
in
feeling.
the witching hours or the thinning the veil?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and the more and more people I talk to, it seems like more people do than they don't. And I'm not quite. I don't know how to explain why. Do you want to give it a shot?
Um, well, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do know like centuries ago, there were people that knew things about it, and they said, that the veil to the other world thins in the later half of the year, which
Mhm.
to me, that explains why fall feels so different to me
Oh,
when fall hits.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
absolutely,
There's like a different
absolutely.
energy,
Yep,
and I believe that's why. And then now with December, we're going into a new year, so that feeling's gone.
it is.
Um,
And for me, it kind of goes away, like I say, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. But the fall definitely has a different flavor. You can. I don't sleep very well. I don't sleep very well,
no,
anyways. But during that area, I mean, I just I just no,
nope,
no,
100%.
no.
But I believe in it, and I believe that there are people that know that stuff, and so I have friends that are psychic mediums, intuitive mediums. I am myself am a practicing medium. I have been since 2019, and I'm still practicing all the time. I
Right,
don't ever tell anybody, oh, I'm a medium, because I'm not. I'm a practicing medium, but
right.
I pick up on things, and I think you do too.
We don't
And
discuss that, but yeah,
and I think she will eventually if she doesn't already.
right.
Once you start doing what we do, I think you
Yep.
get really comfortable and open, and that's why it happens.
Hmm.
To some, with me, it was since I was a little kid. I read about ghosts when I was a kid. I saw ghosts when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I had a lot of experiences throughout my lifetime.
And I think as a child, you don't know any better, right? So
No,
as you get older, a lot of people lose that because they're like, well, it just doesn't exist. But when you're
Yeah.
young, you don't know any better, right? So
right,
you're open to everything because everything is
right.
brand new, and I think you're more vulnerable as well. And that's why I think things,
I agree.
at least in my case, when I was younger, things would mess with me horribly. Um,
Yeah.
I, 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 I hated nighttime. I hated bedtime,
Yep.
because I mean things would just mess with me. And as a child, it's hard to it's hard to talk to your parents about that because you can't verbalize what's going on. You don't know what's going on, right?
No, and then most of the time they tell you it's just your imagination,
Right, right.
and
Or you're
it's
seeking
not.
attention or something.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Raven's just shaking her head. She's like, yeah, well,
I am because I know the conversation. But it's true. I think that's very fair. Like, as kids, and that's like the same thing. You could look at it like paranormally, or you could look at it as like how as kids you play, or you're more open to, like you're saying, more open to things. But then as you become adults, you're told, oh, no, no, don't do that. Oh, don't do that. Oh, that's not
Yeah.
real. Oh, don't do that. Like those kinds of things happen as you grow. And so that makes sense. And so a lot of people do shut that out, and a lot of
they
people
do.
do become skeptics. And I 100% agree with the fact that I, people that are more open to things happening are going to have the experiences because it's just they're more
Right.
open to it. Who are like, oh, no, 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 this could never happen. They're not going to have those experiences
Right.
because they're just
Right.
not paying attention the same way.
But I also
Um,
believe when children die, if they have not been taught, that you go to heaven when you die,
Mhm.
um, I think that that's why they hang around. I've actually worked on a case that it was a child that was murdered locally here, and he was haunting the house next door. And I told the people that own the house, I said, just tell him to go find a grandma, a grandpa, an auntie, an uncle, someone um, that will help him cross over, someone that will help him
Yeah.
move on, because they don't know. Kids don't know,
No,
especially little ones.
right.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, Trish. Well,
Oh, that's great.
well, Raven, Trisha, it's been 55 minutes. Who knew? How did that happen?
Like that,
You know?
I can keep talking and talking, and then next thing you know, an hour's gone by. So
I love it. That's why we
And that's what
love
we love,
talking to you.
right, Trish? Like it's very interesting. We met you, uh, like I said, in Appleton this year, which to me, I keep saying this is insane. It
It
feels
is.
right,
like it feels like this year we've gone so many places, we've done so many things, and yet it's still not even been a year yet.
right,
Like, how does that happen? But we just met you and we clicked with you and you invited us out to that beautiful lighthouse. And said, come explore this lighthouse that you were so gracious to let us
Oh,
come
we
in.
loved having you, and the experience that Gabriel and I had was just, that was so amazing, because he got to have that kind of experience, and
Mhm.
was like, I think you were kind of wowed by it.
I was. It wasn't. I didn't feel threatened. It was more like,
No,
hey, we're here with you. We're engagement. So
yeah,
I didn't see it as a negative thing. I just saw it as kind of a comforting thing because, like
right,
I mentioned in the monologue, a lighthouse to me is a safe haven for spirits that maybe didn't get the chance to make it to shore, right?
right,
And I think we
right,
talked about that a little bit. So,
yeah,
it's to me it's comforting that these sailors had a place and have a place to maybe congregate and call home after a
right,
journey that was struck by sadness, you know.
yeah, for sure. And I think they were comfortable enough to do that for you,
Oh,
like they
absolutely.
trusted you, so they were like, I'm going to pop in and say hey, and
Yeah.
you know,
And
yeah,
we welcomed it, we were like, "Did you see that?" And then we just kind of went back to our conversation.
yep,
you know?
true,
So
yep.
this has been amazing, Trish. So why don't you tell people who you are, how to get a hold of you, and websites, whatever you want.
Okay. I am Trish Kotz, and I am the founder of Uber Paranormal, and we are located in Ishpeming, Michigan. And I do people's homes, businesses free of charge. But I also go all over the United States. Like I said, that's a conversation for another time, because I've been everywhere. Um, and I'm hoping to continue to do this, because I find it fascinating. I love the history of the places I go to. I love the history of the towns I go to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once again, we're at the
Oh,
top
and
of
they can reach me on Facebook.
yes. Do you want to
Under
give
you
the
Paranormal.
how on
Yep,
Facebook?
I have a page. It's called You Prepare Normal on Facebook.
I love it. Trish, one of the most generous people that I've actually met. That really, you have that warmth where it's hard not to connect with you. It really is.
Well, thank you.
And
Y'all
I
are so sweet to me.
We
That's
need
why I was
it
like,
too.
I'm taking y'all with me to all the locations I'm going to next year.
let's do it. Let's do
I'm
it.
on my way right now.
Raven,
Well,
what
like
do
I
we
said,
have coming up?
in May we're doing Ashmore, and then I want to say in June is the Monroe House. September is Jericho, and I'm not sure when Edinburgh is, but I will ask Monica, and then I'm sure there's room. So just to double check with her, and then I will reach out to Raven and see if you guys can find the time to go.
I love that.
You would love
Oh,
it.
the
Love it.
Monroe House. Y'all have to come to the Monroe House. You have to.
We would love it.
Consider
I'm
it
in. I
done.
mean, you
No.
had
Okay.
me creepy things and
Heck yeah.
basements. I don't know.
It's
Creepy
plenty
things.
creepy. It's plenty
And
creepy.
here I go. I'm on my way.
Well, Raven, where will we be? Hopefully with Trisha. But once we nail that down, what do we have going on next year?
So, for us, we'll be live again on Sunday at 7
Mhm.
o'clock p.m. Central
Yep.
Time.
Hmm.
So you actually mentioned that a little earlier. We'll be talking a little bit about Jeffrey Dahmer and possibly about vampires and vampirism and
Hmm.
that. That's going to be on Sunday. But when we talk about event-wise, We will be in Wabasha. January 10th is our next event. I cannot think of the name of the conference right off the top of my head, but Becky over at the Anderson House Hotel is hosting a paranormal conference that we are speakers at. So we'll be doing a presentation on
Fun.
January. I
And you know how much we love our speaking things, you
Yeah.
know?
We
Yeah, it's
do.
kind of fun.
do. And that's in January. And then
Mhm.
end of February, we'll be back at Kansas City Paracon. Yes, and that will make it a year officially for us making the circuits. But I can't wait to be back there with wonderful people such as Dustin Perry. I believe Richard Estep is back as well. So we'll be seeing some familiar faces from last year, as well as some hopefully new ones.
And
I
if you go
love
to
that.
things like a Paracon like that and you happen to meet two ladies, the Connor sisters, they are amazing.
Okay.
They are, oh my gosh, they're witches from
Okay. Okay.
Appalachia, however you say it. They
Yeah,
do have a
there's
they did a documentary called Season of the Witch, and I want to say it was on Tubi. If you want to get to know them, they, like I said, amazing. I got to know them. They did a reading for me that was spot on, and I actually got a necklace that Susan bought from Misty Connor, who she does the whole thing where she puts it under all the phases of the moon and puts her energy in it. Yeah, it's yeah, they're awesome. Look them up at the Paracon you go to.
I love that.
We'll find
Well,
them.
do you mind if I do a monologue? Anybody else have anything else?
No.
I love it. Do stay on afterwards, Trish, so we can say goodbye to you properly. So,
Okay.
my friends, tonight we stepped once more behind the warmth circle of the ordinary world into the shadowed places where stories breathe and the truth waits in the dark. As always, I want to thank you for walking this crooked path with us. Curious and unafraid. I appreciate that. A special thank you to Raven Knight and our good friend Trisha. Please,
Thank you.
the quiet pulse behind the veil, and our guest this evening, whose insight added new echoes to the old mysteries we chase. That beautiful, beautiful lighthouse. If you haven't already, make sure to follow Darkwoods Paranormal across all platforms: YouTube. What did I do there? TikTok, Facebook, where conversations never sleep. And remember, every like, every share, every comment keeps the little lantern of ours burning in the night. Until we meet again, stay aware, stay curious, and most of all, my friends, do stay safe out there. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and thanks, Trish.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me on.